everyone. Um, this video is going to be a little different. I want to speak about a question that I've gotten asked a couple of times, and it's a very valid question, makes complete sense, of something that I said in one of the previous videos. And then I want to talk a little bit about my daughter. So, here we go. I have been getting messages. I'm so grateful that everyone's watching. I'm so grateful I have everyone's attention finally. My gratitude is unmatched. And I've gotten this question a couple times. And if you go back to video 2, it was 2 and 3, you will hear me say that I have forgiven Jennifer. And that's true. I have. You'll also hear me say that I have not told Jennifer that I have forgiven her. And that's true too. I have not. And I don't know that. I mean, I'm sure she'll see this. So she'll know from here. And the question was, why? Why don't you tell her that you've forgiven her? Why don't you, build a bridge that she already burnt down? This is your mother, da 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 da. And that's all true, and those are valid questions, and I'm going to explain that right now. I feel like people make forgiveness synonymous with a change in behavior, and that's not a good way to live. This is the life coach in me coming out, you need forgiveness, because if you don't have forgiveness for everything or anyone that's ever been done to you, you will be miserable. You're going to be miserable your whole life. You're going to hold on to hate. You're going to hold on to resentment. And it's going to cause all kinds of physical problems within you. I mean, it creates a perfect storm for mental health issues to pop up. You have to be able to forgive that life is not fair and people change. And my forgiveness of these individuals has nothing to do with them. They will not apologize to me. I know that they're never going to apologize to me, especially after reading through the court documents and Jennifer specifically and Chris and the blatant lie. I mean, reading those documents, I've had to go through them so many times over the last 6 months, and it's shocking. It makes me sick to see what was written about me and what was accepted by the courts and what is now on my record. Just complete blatant lies of horrible things that just weren't true. They were never true. Jennifer is not my mom. Jennifer now is a woman who's living inside the body of someone who used to be my mother. I do not see her as a mother. And it has been years for this to finally, for her to put these nails in that coffin. My last trip to Massachusetts, I only went, the only reason I went was so I could finally get some time with my mom. Because I had been in this abusive marriage. And I just wanted my mom. That was all I wanted. I just wanted my mom to be like, baby, it's going to be okay. That's what I wanted. And that was the only reason that we went. And then when we went, she did go. She brought her male version of a mistress, I guess, whose name was Art at the time, to Massachusetts. And she didn't spend any time with me. She used me as a babysitter for his child that he never saw either. His child didn't even live in the same state. And he didn't spend any time with him in Massachusetts because me and Josh did. And that little boy was amazing. He's in all of our pictures. He's a great, great kid. Amazing kid. His dad didn't want anything to do with him. Jennifer didn't want anything to do with me. I was only there to hang out with her. We ended up getting a huge argument about it, which she turned around. We were arguing because she was lying at that time. She was telling everybody here one thing that her and this guy Art were just friends, and then I go to Massachusetts and see a picture of her and Art framed in my grandmother's living room. And this was before I realized that Chris and Jennifer had this crazy, crazy agenda to destroy me. And I stood up for him. I was like, does Chris know this? That you're doing this? And that was what was caused that fight. And she turned it around and said I was being crazy, and I like grabbed her or something, which I didn't. She grabbed me. Anyways, the woman living, I've already mourned the loss of my mom. My mother was amazing. I did not grow up with an absent mother or father. I grew up with two very strong, honorable parents. And I don't know. It's one of the reasons why all of this took so many years to accept, because it is what that person is now is such a vast contrast to the woman who raised me, the woman who kept me inside of her body. That's not my mom. I don't know who that is. That's why I don't refer to her as my mom. I refer to her as Jennifer now, because I've already mourned the loss of my mother. I had to do that, and I had to mourn the loss of my mother with no funeral, with no support, while I was homeless, with everybody sending me all of this hate because of the things that were being said about me. I have no body. My dad's passed away, and his ashes are sitting right next to my bed. His ashes have been in my room since the day he died. Well, since, he was cremated and I brought him home. And I feel like I can still talk to my dad. I feel like my dad's still on my side, even though he's literally dead. Because I'm not a religious person, but something tells me that he still hears me, that he's still here protecting me and Deacon and Ramona as best he can. To me, my dad is not gone forever. I still talk to him. I still feel him. I feel like, even 13 years after his death, he's the one who's given me the strength and resilience somehow, even from beyond the grave, to survive this. With Jennifer, it's not like that. There's no grave. There's no urn. There's no nobody. I had to mourn the loss of my mother alone. And when I say mourn the loss, I mean, once you cross a line with somebody, whether that person be your child or somebody else, if you mess with that person's children, you have now crossed unforgivable lines where you and that person's relationship will never be the same. Not if they're a good parent, that relationship will never be the same. She has put me in a position where I have to choose between protecting her and Chris and their lives and protecting my children. That's not something a mother would do. Nothing that she has done is something any good, real, honest mother would do. I don't know why. There were times when I was living in that truck in parking lots, and she helped that happen. And I still was alone, crying, just thinking, I just want my mom. I just want my mom. Like, I know I'm an adult, but I've been thrown to the wolves. I just need my mom right now. That's who I need. And she was the one who was fueling the whole thing to put me in that position. It was mostly Chris. Her name isn't on hardly any of the documents. Neither is Lisa. When it comes down to legal repercussion, it will only be the boys who will suffer for this, because Lisa and Jennifer's name are only on there a couple times. Chris and Josh's name are all over those forms. They were smart. And I'm not saying that Chris and Josh are the people who masterminded or even made this happen, because Jennifer and Lisa did a lot of finagling behind the scenes. They were just smart enough not to sign their name. So, she's not my mother. That woman will never be my mother. The woman, and for me to hold on to this hatred and seething resentment towards anyone, even her, is going to be more detrimental to me, and it's exactly what the people who have hurt you want. And that's not going to happen. She has already taken enough from me. She has destroyed my life after I saved hers after I housed her for 10 years, there were times when I was in that truck when I couldn't call her legally because Chris made up some story, and we'll get into that too. We're going to get into all of it. We're going to go through the night that he called the police on me just for showing up to ask to use the bathroom one night when I was living in my truck. We're going to go over this huge kidnapping story that he completely fucking fabricated and got a restraining order against my kids, and I haven't seen or heard their voices since. We're going to go over it all. But my reason for addressing this question in particular is that I want you to know, I want whoever's watching to know that there will be people in your life who will wrong you. That's going to happen because human beings are the worst. And I'm sorry to bring you that news, but that's going to happen. And it's up to you. You saying that you have forgiven someone in your heart does not mean that that person didn't ever do that. It doesn't mean that that person shouldn't face the repercussions of their actions. Those two are not tied together. I have forgiven her for myself. I have forgiven her so that I can move on with my life the way I was meant to. And it has not been easy. None of this has been easy. Not having parents is such a weird feeling. It's such a weird feeling. But I just think it's very important. And honestly, even if she did, let's just say that I was waiting, that I couldn't forgive her without an apology. One, she might never apologize. And two, at this point, after going over all the court records and healing for almost a year, trying to figure out everything that happened because it was so traumatizing, I don't think there's anything that woman could ever say to me that I would ever believe. And that's crazy. If you can't trust your mom, who is there left to trust? And it's too much. It's too risky. It's too risky to allow that person in my life after what she has already shown that she is very capable of, both her and Chris. What she's done to me, what she's done to my children. You have to understand, these people have been bullying me behind the scenes for years. I'm talking like starting around 2016. 2016. We're in 2024 now. About 8 years, and nobody's ever heard me say anything about it. Because you can bully me all you want. That's fine. I'm an adult. I can handle it. But once you start messing with the well-being of my children and their internal climate, that's when I have to step up and say, no, no more. I'm their mama. It is my job to protect them. And if protecting my children means that I lose a parent, so be it. I'm here to protect my children. As a parent, you're here to protect your children. You made them. I don't understand. There were times when I was not trying. I felt like a little girl again, just little 5, 6-year-old Jamie just crying, alone. I just wanted my mom. I just needed my mom to come save me. And and another thing is, people have said, why do you keep calling them your babies? You know, they're 13 and 16. They're not babies. They are my babies. They'll be my babies until they're 40, 50, 60, till I'm dead in the ground. Because I'm the one who made them right here. They lived inside of me. They will always be my babies. And one thing that I will never understand is how I wasn't Jennifer's baby. How I'm not. I haven't been in years. I don't know how a parent makes that transition. Because that will never happen. There's nothing on this planet that my children could do that would make me not protect them. Nothing they could do, nothing they could say. There is nothing that would cause me to love them any less. Never. Jennifer is not my mother. Not who she is now. And she never will be, because it's too late. It's too late. I tried for years to be close with her. I don't know when she changed from being a good mom to being someone who wants to destroy the person that I don't know. I don't know. I've been dealing with so much between Josh, having to live with him and his crazy, and my own physical illness, which has also taken everything from me, all of my dreams, all of my ambitions. Like, it's so crazy to me that anyone can think that like when people question if I'm sick, like, okay, first of all, I'm an intelligent girl, okay? And I spent a lot of time and a lot of money working on my credentials for years, bettering myself for years so that I could do my job. And once I realized that my body was too sick to sustain that job, my entire future was gone. Nobody would ever choose that. Why would anyone choose that? If I hadn't been sick, they would not have been able to do everything that they did. Nobody would ever choose that. This is a nightmare. Living in this body is a nightmare because I have this fighting spirit inside of me, and I feel trapped in here. I do not identify with this carcass that I'm stuck inside. It's not mental, it's not emotional, it's very, very physical. And a lot of people don't understand that, and that's okay. It took me years to accept it myself. But that's why. So, yes, I have forgiven Jennifer. We haven't had a conversation about it. I don't think she'll ever apologize, because reading through what I'm reading and even the things I'm finding out now, there's no way that any inkling of the woman who raised me, the amazing, amazingly strong and integritous woman who raised me, is left in that body. She isn't. I don't know who that person is. She's a complete stranger to me. I can tell you she's dangerous. That's all I can say. So I'm going to stop here because I was going to talk about Mona a little bit, and I'm going to again, but I'm noticing that this video is already at 18. I didn't anticipate talking about that long. I'm trying really hard to keep these short because everybody's got lives. You know, y'all don't need to be wasting an hour of your day on me. Go love your families, love your children, appreciate the people around you, and there will be more to come. I did start a YouTube channel. It's called A Courthouse Kidnapping under Jamie Spence. All the videos are there in one place. This will be uploaded there too. I started a t-shirt, like online drop shipping stuff, and I have 9 designs. It's for this campaign, for this case. There's a We the People Fight Honorably. There's a couple different shirts. There's one that says No White Flags. We also have cups, mugs, and like aprons, and men's, women's, kids. There's even a bandana for your friggin' dog. So I'll link that below also. And thank you. Once again, thank you for watching. And I am so sorry that I have to do this. I am so sorry that I am unloading all this bullshit onto people, to the masses who already have their own problems. This is not fair. I did not want to do this. But when you're a parent, your children being harmed, sometimes you gotta do things you don't want to do. So, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. And I'm gonna try to make the next video today so that we can have a little more context. I just wanted to, segment it out a little bit so that people don't get drawn in or think they have to designate all this time just for me and my situation. That's not fair. But thank you so much.